What is up, my friends and fellow collectors out in the known galaxy? Today, I am super excited to have this in the house. I got a vintage or a classic. I wouldn't say vintage just because there's one older than this one, but a classic toy in the house right here today. We have the Imperial Shuttle by Hasbro. This is a really hard toy to find, and I'm gonna tell you some more about it in just a few. It's time for Nerdgasm. Welcome back, everybody, to another unboxing video. I'm super excited, man. You guys can see it in my face. This is gonna be so cool. So if this is your first time on the channel, we do a lot of unboxings on this channel, mostly statues, hot toys, and I do a lot of props and action figures. So this is what you're into. I'm super into Star Wars, so if you're into that kind of stuff, make sure you like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you can stay up to date on all of the content. All right, before we get to this unboxing, I wanna give some galactic size shout outs to a few people. First off, to two groups. One of them, which I'm wearing right here, the Hyperdrive group. If you're into Star Wars, if you're into that kind of stuff and you want to be around people that feel the way you do and you want to have a welcome feeling when you come to the group, make sure you check out the Hyperdrive group on Facebook. These guys are awesome. They're very welcoming, super awesome people, collectors just like me. You know, they have really insane collections in there. Also, another group that you guys can check out is Star Wars Man Caves, another really great group of guys that and gals also that are really into Star Wars. And you know, if you're into that kind of stuff, man, these two groups to me are the best there when it comes to Star Wars, so definitely check them out if you're into that. All right, also want to give another galactic size shout out to my man Santino, because without him I would not even know about this. You know, I'd seen images of it, but I've always assumed that it was a studio scale model, but he told me that this right here is the way to go, and he could not be more correct about it. So I'm glad that I got this in the house now, you know, so very cool. And then the last store I want to give a shout out to, and my dude Alex, is Bits and Buttons. I was out hunting with Seth, and that's how I ended up with this box right here. We went over to Bits and Buttons. This is a vintage toy shop down in Fort Lauderdale. And they got, you know, they really get you in the mood when you're in the store. I mean, they have like, you know, John Williams music playing on the screen in the store. So when you go in there, I'm hearing like Star Wars and E.T. and Back to the Future, and it really gets the adrenaline going when you're in there, and you know, you feel like you're a kid again. You know, a bunch of other people in the store there with you, buying toys and stuff, and talking about when they used to have it and reminiscing about stuff. And I mean, I just love going there. It's really cool. Definitely recommend that you guys, if you're ever in the Fort Lauderdale area, to go check these guys out. Super humble guys. Alex himself is an extremely knowledgeable kid about Star Wars toys, the vintage toys. And he has a very large collection about with that. And I kind of want to go over there and check out his stuff and have him on the show one time so you guys can get introduced to him. Alex is super, super cool and super knowledgeable. And he's the one that hooked me up with this one right here. So big shout out to Bits and Buttons for, you know, allowing me to purchase this. It's because, I mean, there was also some other stuff that I want to get there too. They had a life-size Yoda in the house there. So without further ado, let's take a look at the box. It is time for an extreme close-up! All right, there it is, close up for you guys to see. So if you guys are wondering, this is the second, I think, Imperial Shuttle that was created. This one was done by Hasbro. This one came out in 2002. There was also a 2006 version that came with two figures. I think it came with Darth Vader and a Royal Guard. And then there, of course, there was the vintage one that came out from Kenner back in 1983 during the release of the Return of the Jedi figures. So this is the second one. Also very difficult to find. This one usually goes up for about $400 or so, maybe 500 bucks on the high end if the box is in really high-end shape and everything and nothing's been removed. I was lucky enough to find this one here at Bits and Buttons for a super great deal, and it's new in the box. The box does obviously have a lot of shelfware to it, but it's new in the box. So that's what's important to me. You know, stickers have not been applied and so forth. I'm gonna tell you what it is I plan to do with this once I get it unboxed and assembled. So as you can see, here's what the box looks like. It says Star Wars right here, Return of the Jedi, Imperial Shuttle down at the bottom. You get a nice picture there of the ship with, you know, some figures and everything to recreate that scene from Return of the Jedi. You have on the side here your ship leaving the Star Destroyer, another scene from the movie, some details about what the ship is. And then on the back, you have an image of what the ship looks like. you know, and what you're gonna expect to see when you get this thing out of the box, and some information right there that I'm not gonna go into yet. And then on the side here, again, you have another scene from Return of the Jedi with the ship landing inside of the Death Star. Again, more information right there. And we're back to the front. So that's everything right here. Let's get this thing out of the box and assembled and talk about the ship. All right, there it is, fully assembled, the Imperial Shuttle, or the Lambda Shuttle, or Shuttle Tidarian, depending on how you were first introduced to it or how you want to call it. This is super cool. Obviously vintage. Obviously it's going to need a little bit of work from me to do what it is that I want to do. So some of the things about this ship that I think are really dope. First off, the first time that I was first introduced to this ship that I can remember was in Return of the Jedi, but it wasn't its first appearance of the ship. The first appearance of the ship was actually at the end of Empire Strikes Back, when Vader was boarding the ship and then traveled in it to the Superstar Destroyer that he commanded in the end of that movie. But my first viewing of it was Return of the Jedi. This right here is a recreation of the original 1983 ship that was introduced during the Return of the Jedi action figure wave. And it's the only one of the ships that is highly close to the studio scale size of the model during the filming of the movie, which is why this one has become so sought after. Something that I want to do with this, that I've seen other collectors do, is they take this ship and they modify it so that it looks more like a studio scale. So they repaint it, they add lighting to it, the arms they add motors in there and everything to make it automatic, that kind of thing. That's what I want to do with this, and give it that real nice, really nice look to it. So that way when people come in and see it, they don't think it's a toy, and that it's, a model. That's kind of what I want to do, something that's for me as an adult, right? The ship is cool, man. I really didn't think it would look, it's big. I really didn't think it would be this big, it's you see it in images, but you really just can't tell. So at the height, this thing is sitting at nearly 20 inches tall, and in depth you're looking at about 18 inches. Now this is when the wings are not extended. There's a grip down here so that you can hold on to it, and then when you pull on the trigger, the arms come down like that, and then look how much of a wingspan this thing has at this point. It is freaking huge. So I'm gonna have to find a display that allows it to sit down, but you can see on the table, it needs to be deeper. So this thing needs to be like on its own pedestal to be able to get the full effect of it. So that's really neat that it already comes with the gears there, because that's gonna help when we go to modify it. You also get some rotating guns here on both sides, all right? You have a door that leads into the cockpit area, which is obviously here going to have to be modified, but it's very simple as it was back then. You really only have one sticker. There are no stickers that come in the box that you have to apply, so that's awesome. But the cockpit definitely needs an upgrade for what I want to do. So, but yeah, so you have a cockpit so that you can get into it. So that's cool. And that clicks down here. And then you also have a landing or a ramp, for people to enter into the ship, which doesn't seem to come all the way down, because this part here kind of gets in the way. Ah, there you go. That's how that works. All right, so to get it go all the way down, it slides out, and then you get that, you can have a ramp for your characters to go up and down in. And then it also acts as a lock for the ramp when you put it back in. All right, there's some rear gun detail that they put into it, which is neat. And overall, the whole design of it has all of these nice details and greeblies to make it look like what it was in the film. So they did a really nice job with the setup on this one. Like I said, this one here goes for right around 400 and change, close to 500 bucks is what you're gonna find it for on eBay. Really depending on if it's never been assembled. Obviously right now when I opened it up and I put it all together, I'm sure there were a million guys out there that like, oh, it's gone, it's no longer new in the box. It's new out of the box now, at least for me anyway. But yeah, I'm definitely going to give this thing a lot of love and repaint it. I definitely want to do the motorized arms on it. I think that's going to be cool. I want to take these stickers off the back and actually have some light up engines. That'll be really nice. And judging by the feel of this, these parts come off real easy. So there's going to be, it lends itself to modification. For guys like me who are into modeling and stuff like that, you can really do some nice stuff with this particular ship that Hasbro came out with. So yeah, I'm pumped about it. I'm really excited this is in the house now. So again, guys, I always want to hear what you guys think. And again, thanks Santino for putting me onto this one. Thanks to Alex from Bits and Buttons, and thanks to Bits and Buttons for selling this to me so that I could finally have this in the collection, because I never owned this as a kid. So as always, guys, let me know in the comments what you guys think about this ship. Are you on the hunt for it? Did you know about Bits and Buttons? If you didn't, definitely go down there and check them out, or even check out their website. I'll leave links to get to that in the description below. And I'll also leave links for you guys to get to the Hyperdrive group and Star Wars Man Caves if you guys want to join that as well. So thanks as always, guys, for joining me. And until next time, guys, keep it marvelous, and may the Force be with you.